So hi everyone, very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the demo session of SAP HANA Cloud Integration. My name is Sam D'Souza. I have close to 15 years of work experience, comprises of my on-premise, mobile and then cloud solution with a rich set of experience in integration also. Okay, so before starting the agenda for demo, I just want to check. I hope everyone can see my screen, or in case not, just please ping me in the chat box. If yes, then I can just start with it. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. So for today, the topic will be what is SAP HCI and why we need it, architecture of SAP HCI, how can we start with HCI tool, system walkthrough with prepackaged content, customer scenarios and course content. So before starting getting into the technical nitty-gritties of SAP HCI or talking about what exactly is SAP and how does SAP works, so I just really want to talk first about a business use case. Okay, so from that business use case, you can just understand the importance of SAP HCI as a middleware integration tool and how much key role it can play today into the market from the strategy, from the SAP integration strategy perspective. Now think of a case when you just log into your system, you just open your browser and you want to shop. You suppose you just open Amazon.com, you just look for some particular product and just say add to cart and just buy. Once you just do a buy, for you, it will just show your shipping details and all those things. But you have to understand there are a lot of backend processes happening. You are getting your order shipped, might be invoice. There will be a total amount has to be invoiced, some amount has to be invoiced. Then third thing can be your seller catalog has to be updated, and might be these are different systems, so they have to talk together so they can just give you a single user experience, but everything is happening in the backend. And these systems, these software applications can be different applications, might be have the different data format also different, so they have to communicate and give users a real value. So just to solve this particular business use cases, and there are so many more, it's just one I have talked about, might be there will be so many your manufacturing and automotive, so financial. So there are so many business use cases for this. Okay, but right now this kind of problems, we do have a lot of problems from the integration perspective, and SAP as a leader into a business. So with this help of SAP HCI, they really want to solve this particular problem. So SAP HCI is a middleware tool, okay, so which can facilitate the data exchange between different systems. I'll not talk only SAP system, because with the help of SAP HCI, you can just have a data exchange with a non-SAP system also. So it has a definitely a good leverage over it. And just to go, so this was just a basic why we need this SAP HCI, the business use case, and what is exactly the SAP HCI. So just keeping some theory short, so this was the reason why we need HCI in place. Okay, and there are a lot of challenges these days we are facing. So right now, let me just go to my next part. So these are the different integration challenges. You can just look here on my screen. So right now, just don't think, because right now cloud and on-premise is a very different thing. When we just say cloud, it has an own releases, there is a mismatch, there's a version mismatch, someone is on higher, someone is lower, might be they don't communicate properly. So there are so many challenges, and right now whenever anytime you're trying to learn into integration, so I think these are the very key important things you should keep in your mind from end-to-end project delivery perspective. Okay, so like this is for master data synchronization, on-premise SAP, standard integration, upgrade, data security and compliance, cost to implement, monitoring, real-time business process integration, non-SAP system, which is very important these days, time to implement, end-to-end monitoring, integration, technology support, cloud integration, customize SAP, and technical protocols. So might be in case if you're really starting very new with this integration, might be you'll have little hiccups understanding these terms. But trust me, once we start the course, I'll just make sure whatever the most basic level we have, we'll just try to cover it up. Because somewhere definitely might be you'll ask, Sam, why the standard integration we have marked a question mark? Because it don't make sense to have a question mark in front of standard integration. So suppose right now, in case if we have some prepackaged integration and if there is update is coming it up, how we have to make sure it adjusts to a business requirement properly and don't affect other part of existing things. Okay, so there are so many things. I just really want to lay out the holistic understanding of SAP HCI. Okay, SAP HANA Cloud, SAP HANA Cloud integration. Okay, so these were the different challenges we see right now from the integration perspective. Okay, so let me now go to my second parts when we have to start with the architecture of SAP HCI. Before going to that, so in case if because I always more focus on understanding a business also, in case if you have a good business understanding, then you can easily pick up the things. Okay, because you know what exactly you're looking for. So now think of a case, and now you opt for, okay, yes, right now Sam, I'm really looking to expand our horizon on SP HANA cloud integrations. Okay, so right now whenever we say there are so much of content is available, pre-packaged content, can we just look into it so that before going deep into it, can we see that particular content? Okay, so yes, SCP has provided a URL in which if you want to go, you can check what are the standard SAP pre-packaged content offering. That will be just in a detailed view. So right now, not you will be able to actually see the content, but you will actually see what exactly SAP has offered, because SAP is as a huge. It's not something. This company has a lot of different products. So might be using SuccessFactor, Reba, Hybris, S4 HANA Cloud. So there are so many different solutions. So before going into the system, I really want to show what exactly SAP has offerings, because might be your case can be a transactional one or a master data. Might do you want to replicate a product from on-premise to the C4C, or might be you want to replicate a sales order created onto your C4C to your backend part, or you want to replicate your employee center from SuccessFactor to a C4 system. So there are different business use cases we have. Okay, but I think it's always good practice in case if you don't have system right now, you really want to see what kind of a SAP has offered into a market. Okay, so let me just go into system, because actually if I'll log into system, I think it will help you a lot. So let me just open HTTPS cloud integration dot HANA on demand.com. Yes, this is the one. So right now, okay. So right now it will just directly take me to the link to this particular portal where we can just see what are the different standard content right now SAP is offering it up. So there are different solutions, different type of a content. Might be you can definitely filter it up. In case if you have a very business specific, suppose in case if you are looking for SAP success factor, so right now you can just look from here, okay, what kind of a standard SAP offering has been given from the HR management modules, like, so for example, like SAP success factor employee center integration with third party time vendor. For example, in case if you want to have a time vendors integrated with your success factor, so this is the content which is readily available. Guys, trust me, when you start this, you have to like how much code reusability is important. The same way, in case if we have pre-packaged watertight content which can be used by customer, it will be very helpful if we can use this up, because that content is already proven one, already companies are using it. So building on top of it, it's very easy, because you know it has a solid base. So that's why understanding what exactly is available and how we can explore more, that is very important. Okay, so this was one. So right now you can definitely you should browse through this catalog part. Okay, so you'll be able to figure it out, okay, what exactly you are looking for. Okay, so there are like different might be in case if you have S4 HANA, S4 HANA Cloud, C4 HANA, so all these solutions are readily available. Okay, like see in your S4 HANA Cloud, what are different business event. So there are so many solutions to it. So I'll request, once you're starting with this particular course, just start going through this different content. So in case anytime if you're looking to expertise in yourself in integration, you should know what is available into this. Okay, because think of one more general case. Suppose some kind of content is already available and you want to learn it up. So for you, it will be easy to copy that particular content in your space and then see how exactly it's being built. So it will just help you a lot, small things. So that's why I'll just encourage you, start going through these things. Okay, so this is really available. You can just log in into it and you'll be able to start seeing these things. And one more thing, don't think like in case suppose from integration, suppose right now we have a lot of integration also. Suppose if I click onto this integration content, so it will just give you the details and the documents related to it. Don't think you will be able to see the content here readily. Okay, what is my integration content? So yes, so right now it will be just give you detail what exactly is the do. In case if you're looking for a document or integration guide, you can just check it out from there. Okay, the business tracks will help you out just to filter it quickly, as simple as that. Okay, so this was about how you can just browse the SAP HCI cloud offering of the prepackaged content. Okay, this was one thing. So this is the same link. You can just use it up and you can log in into system. And don't worry, guys. I'll be sharing with demo this PPT also. You can just download it and start looking into it. So the next part of this particular demo is SAP Cloud Architecture of SAP SA. So right now, as I've started, I've told you. So this SAP HANA Cloud interface acts as a mediator or a facilitator between different systems, might be in terms of a data format, okay, because it supports different adapters. So that's why it's easy to communicate. So right now, this is just understanding, holistic understanding. So you can see the screen, you don't get confused. Okay, this is kind of a technical diagram, and this is some kind of little tricky. So it's very normal. And between we have just place our SAP HANA Cloud integration, and below we have SAP on-premise, third-party on-premise, or some kind of a cloud solutions. And here we have SAP Cloud applications. So there are different SAP Cloud solutions also, like SuccessFactors, C4C, Ariba, BYD, and Concur. So there are different solutions. So it just show how easily with the help of a prepackaged content you can easily integrate with the cloud solution. It can be both the direction, might be it can be synchronous and asynchronous also. Okay, it provides your the security we have, community and marketplaces, just how easily you can learn it and how easily you can just get the support of other developers who are building on top of it. So SCN, there are different communities we have. You can just go and you can just start learning about it. And integration is a topic which actually comes with experience. You start building interfaces and you start integrating. You definitely have to have a wider angle, because earlier when you are working on cloud solution, you will be very specific to your own solution. So suppose in case if you're working on a success factor screen, so you'll be very focused on to success factor, and you will not be worried about what's going in and out. Yes, definitely in terms of if something is coming in or out of system. But suppose in case we are using a middleware system like SAP HANA Cloud Integration, you have to talk to two different systems. Might be in terms of authentication, or might be in terms of how data flows. It's very important to understand from both the perspective. Okay, what exactly is coming into the system? How does the data is passing? Can we debug the data? Do we have to do any other operations? So yes, so SAP HANA Cloud Integration supports. It has a lot of such a rich features. Maybe I can just take you to one of the custom scenario. I can just show you what different business or app in terms of feature wise, what readily available SAP has already provided us. Okay, so I also this is a very simple example how exactly it talks between on-premise, third party, or a cloud solution. Okay, so this was one part. So right now, before trying to explain you the technical architecture of it, I really want to talk about two or three things I think which is very important. For example, like as we know that whenever we just take a cloud system, so we do have a kind of a subscription. So exactly when I say SAP cloud platform, okay, so just give a little focus here. So whenever I say SAP cloud platform, so SAP cloud platform is SAP's biggest strategy in cloud, where at a single shop you can just look for anything, your integration service, your machine learning, your Leonardo, everything. You can just develop a native application even. So SAP cloud platform is a big umbrella of it. and your SAP integration services is one part of SAP Cloud Platform. Okay, it's very important because your SAP HANA Cloud integration uses storage, security, user management from SAP Cloud Platform, okay, into SAP HANA Cloud integrations. Okay, so this is very important to understand, and it's like both complement to each other, because if SAP HCI has an integration functionality, so it also completes the part of that umbrella which has a which provides services of integration. Okay, so it's very important to understand who is subset of what and what exactly they are using. Okay, so I'll just write like in terms of storage, user management, and security. So these are the things which SAP HCI uses, okay, from SAP Cloud Platform. So this is very important to understand. So whenever we get access to any tenant, so there are different things which happens. Okay, so for example, like suppose if you are a customer, okay, yes, just move it this side, thank you. So might be in case if you are a, let me just pull out some other boxes. Yep, let me just take it. So right now I'll just show you a sequence by sequence exactly how does this data flows, and which is very important, because if you come to this place, then for me so for me I think it will be a little easy to make you understand how exactly the system is there, how exactly the physical relation, like from the account perspective, how the things flows also, which is very important. So for example, here we have customer, then we have an account, so every customer will have one account. Okay, so this will be like this, customer will be having a one account. Okay, and after that, one customer has an account, then one account will be associated with one tenant. Okay, so this is your one tenant. Now you can assume this tenant as a HCP HCI tenant. Okay, so I hope you understand this part. Like whenever we want to subscribe to the services, we'll have an account and they will give the particular SAP HCI access. Okay, so this is the main part we have come. So they will be giving you a URL, which I'll be also showing in my demo. I'll be navigating into system also. So now the point comes up, what is exactly how the things happen into SAP HCI. So right now SAP HCI, if you say, so this is SAP HCI's integration for processing the data, but background to SAP HCI there are other things also. How can I say that? How can I say that? So there are different things. So let me just draw something and I'll just explain you a bit about, okay, what exactly is this. So every tenant, so right now just think this as this particular box as a tenant or SAP HANA cloud account. Okay, this particular treat as a tenant, and in that particular tenant there are two things. First thing is your tenant management node. Okay, and the second is management node. Okay, this is your tenant management node, and second is your is called runtime node. So understanding this is very important. Okay, because this particular HCI, what do you think, is kind of an integration framework, because framework is different thing and integration platform is a different thing, or integration tool is a different thing. So right now I'll just answer this particular question to next slide, but just see how exactly this works, then I'll just explain you more. So right now suppose this is a user we have. Okay, so this user make a request to this tenant for some kind of an access, anything it can be, might be some he wants to kind of, he has deployed some content and now he wants to read the data or he want to monitor something. So this request first will go to the tenant management node. Okay, and once this request will go to the tenant management node, it will be a supervisor for this particular tenant, okay, and it will ask this runtime node to process the data. Okay, so this is a very important point of this architecture when we just say, because tenant management node is acts as a supervisor to this runtime node, and it process the data, and this sometimes also called as a worker node also. So this is very important from a terminology perspective. Okay, so these are the two different things we have into a tenant. So understanding it will actually help you. So anytime in case if you have to monitor your data, you will be able to see, okay, how these things are interrelated. Okay, so the next important things coming in into up is your how you can monitor the data. So monitoring the data is one of the most important thing, and this is for your message content. So right now might be there are few things, just think right now technically, might be if someone very new to this course might be have a confusion like, why is I'm talking about message content, what is a monitoring data. Just think from my first example when I just talked about Amazon. So you click onto the data, something is happening with your data, might be some kind of a data access to some third party system or different computer applications. So think of a case, might be some request has come, it has some kind of a message and they are processing that data. So just think right now into the very lean terminology. Once we just proceed with the course, I think it will be very clear with the time part. Okay, so monitoring the data is very important and holistic and critical part of SAP HANA Cloud integration, that we can monitor the data into HCI tool. Okay, and might be if someone has a question like why this vertical patch. So right now the main reason for having this vertical patch is it acts as a your load balancer. So in case if you have a huge bulk of a data, so with the help of your balancer, it will pass the request based on availability. Okay, so that it don't so any one node don't get exhausted. Okay, and there was one question regarding the same part, can we enhance the number of nodes? So yes, we can have it, because once you are based on data usage, we can definitely enhance this nodes part, and that is also called the horizontal scaling. Okay, so right now this was just a basic of technical architecture, but right now I think coming to the very important question, because this is one of the most important part of this technicality. So what do you think is SAP HCI integration framework? Okay, so framework like it's actually end to end. So right now, just to tell you, this SAP HCI, this integration platform is based on Apache Camel, which is the integration framework for SAP HCI. And Camel is an open source Java based framework, and Camel is also based on enterprise integration patterns. So this enterprise integration patterns might be a new terminology for you, but I think it depends on if someone has already worked on enterprise integration patterns, so you'll understand like request, reply, content, based router, splitter, or gather. So there are different things we have in enterprise integration pattern. And right now, when I've told you this HCI is based on this Apache Camel, let me just go here back again to this diagram. So you think right now when I say this is your tenant and this nodes process, your tenant management node and runtime node. So you can understand that it has to convert this runtime into a Apache Camel. This is a part of Apache Camel only. Okay, this is exactly the runtime execution is happening in Apache Camel. Okay, but right now. For today, I think this basic understanding will be helpful. Might be in future when we start with this course, I'll just explain you how, for example, we have integration content when we say deploy, how exactly it converts into camel content and how we can easily monitor it up. Okay, so there are so many different things for learning we have in this particular course. Someone, because this is already being in this particular Apache camel is used in conjunction with Celtic-Fire CXF. So most of the time when anyone has used this integrations, we'll know why slash CXF is used. Okay, so in case if you're looking kind of a more details onto your Apache camel, so you can just refer to this particular link. But right now, in case if you are really looking for to develop very advanced scenario, in case if you want to understand what is enterprise, how enterprise integration pattern, or how enterprise integration bus EIB get used when we develop an integration flow. So this is a very again a big set to understand in camel, because camel, I'll just tell you, it's kind of a payload agnostic. It don't just understand, it can just take any format of data, and based on the need it can convert it to any other format. So it is actually a very powerful. Okay, so let me just go to the next part, which is right now I think everyone's quite bored. Okay, going Sam, if you're going through PPT, so let's make sure we start soon logging into SAP HCI tool also. Okay, which is I think everyone is looking to view. Okay, how exactly this will look like. So SAP Web IT tool, I think most people has used the Fury for SAP Fury course. Also, they have done develop the application part. So same way for SCI also, SAP has developed a Web ID tool where you can just easily create, configure, and deploy your content, and you can easily monitor it out. Okay, so SAP Web ID tool is a very kind of a plug and play tool which you can use it. Okay, so I think again there are different parts to Web ID. So there are different function associated with, like discover, design, run, and monitor. Okay, so I think this was just a very minimalistic theory so that you can just understand. Okay, discover, there are discover, design, run, and monitor. Okay, so let me just do one thing. Let me just log in into a system. Let me just copy. Okay, let me just copy paste this. Okay, yes. Let me just log into system. So right now, see, first it directed me to account page. That was our recipe HANA specific cloud platform, and automatically it just took me to this particular page, which is your my tenant for integration service. This E1473.tmn.hci AP1 HANA on demand. So I hope you can just relate to what I just discussed about TMN, your tenant management tool. So you'll soon have more understanding of how we can just use this particular part. Okay, so right now we are already into this design screen. Okay, so ideally we start this integration catalog content in the discovery phase only. Okay, so in case if you're looking for some kind of a documentation, you can just click here and just look for online guide or data service settings, or in case if you're looking for some other informations. Okay, so I think the mostly start with your discover, then your design, then your run, and then your monitor. So these are different steps. Okay, let me again just go to a discovery, because whenever you log into this particular tenant, the most important thing is you should be able to see all the standard prepackaged content. And guys, it's very important to understand the idea of prepackaged content, because I've seen in scenarios where companies have want to build some kind of e-document where there is some kind of a compliance also. Okay, so in that cases, if SAP standards a pre-packaged delivered content, so it's very easy for them, so they can just easily adapt and they can easily extend it up. Okay, and right now you see the beauty of this particular integration, and right now I think in most of all the solutions right now it's kind of a market supported. So in case if you have any idea, or might be you're developing any content which you think is idealistic for any other customer also, you can become a vendor into SAP cloud platform integration, and you can just submit your content, and based on that you will be also getting whatever the amount like you have mentioned for this particular content. Okay, so this is a discovery part. So right now you can see you should be able to search the particular content. Okay, based on your requirement, like might be, let's say SAP hybris, I'll just say. Okay, so right now it'll just show me all the related content related to SAP hybris. Okay, Might be we can just sort this up right now. Here the filter, we can just do filter based on different line of parameters. Like line of business is one parameter, SAP cloud platform, so free. Like how I'm just choosing it up, so it will show me what kind of a content is available. Okay, so once you see this content, okay, I'm looking for this content. Suppose this is SAP hybris cloud for customer integration with SAP hybris as a service. So you can just click onto it, and it will, this will be a screen look like. Okay, so it will have first of all a description, what exactly this particular content do, then the package ID, then the supported platform, the category, and the credit when it was initially created. Okay, then I go to this artifact part. So it has so many artifact means your integration flow, what exactly this particular package contains. So it has a different integration flows. Suppose create category from C4C to YAS, create account from YAS to C4C. So based on your requirement, you can look into this content. The third part is the documents part. The document part is, as this is vendor is SAP for this particular content, so they will provide a documentation for it. Okay, like what exactly this content do. So if you just click onto this, it will just open the documentation for it, like what exactly this content contains and how we can just start using it out. Okay, so this was a documents. The next steps is tags. So in case if you want to search with any keyword, product, line of business, okay, so it will just help you out to filter out your content, as simple as that. Then is your rating. So rating is like how actually we rate this content, because all it depends on the business process. Some people has a very normal employer application, but might be some people have a very complex replications from different system with different operations. So might be for them it don't fit their it's solves their purpose. So it all depends how we exactly use this content. So in case if in future if you are doing it, I think it will be very good in case if you can read this content and suggest feedback. So this was your discovery phase. So like once you have uh, discovered like, okay, I need this and I have to use it. Okay, so there are again so many things we can do it here, but when we start a course, in case if we have to use standard content, how we can do that, we'll definitely look into it. Okay, so we have done the discovery part of it, the discover part. Now let me just go for the design part. So right now, in case if you want to work with some kind of an integration content, okay, or if you want to build some kind of integration content, in case if you have already packages and everything is there, you can just start building them. So don't worry, I'll be just talking about how we can just do all the things. So let me just go to right now one content. So right now it's just a basic content we have with different artifacts. Right now this is a custom one, so right now it's right now this as such we don't have it, but this is how it look like. But don't worry, once I'll just start with going forward, there are a few things. After that I'll just take you into the system also and show what are the different SAP HCI features we have, okay, which you can use it and which can help you to develop your own content also, okay, because that's the most important thing. And pre-packaged content was important because SAP has already given standard content, might be you can just adapt to your needs in case if you want, so you can easily extend it out. So that was one thing. So this was your okay, that's okay. Let me, so we have just seen two things: discover, design is a phase we where we'll just see the in package we have seen the content. But don't worry, we'll just after some time in demo only I'll just show what are the different features we have already available into it. Okay, the third tab is the operations tab. So this is also one of the important tab, how we can just monitor, run our content. So this is one of the most holistic place where we can see how exactly your system is doing it up, and there are different parts to it. So this is one. So right now run and monitor. So run is when we just deploy that application. Once we deploy the application, so it will be get started running on our tenant. Okay, so the same node, tenant management node or a worker node. So this was one thing. Uh, Let me just, so right now I hope now you can just see design. Discover is where we actually discover, then the design part is where we design, then we run that particular content, and then we just monitor it. Okay, this was a holistic end-to-end web tooling for this web ID. Okay, so I'll just do one thing without delay. I'll just show you like a little bit of what are the different features we have already available, so that you can just think, okay, what we can learn. So like if you just go to the artifact type, so let me just open any existing one. I'm not sure what we have in this. Let me just just step into this and see what we can do with this. So it's just opening this particular part. Sometimes it takes time, so yeah. So right now you see this is an integration flow. Okay, integration process, or this is the canvas where we actually design our content or integration flow. Let me just do an edit. So I think why did I did it the edit part is right now you see there are a lot of features which has been just come up for us. So this is a palette, okay, and this is one of the most important part when we are designing our content, because you can see we have participants, processes, okay, then we have events, we have connectors, we have mapping. This is one of the most important thing, mapping part. Then we have message transformation. My in case we have to play around with the message part. So there are different operations we have. How can we use it? We do have a scripting also in case if we want to process some kind of a bulk data based on some requirements. So how can we do that? And how we can learn it. So right now this particular tool supports Groovy and SAP and JavaScript. But right now in our course we'll be talking about mostly about the we'll use a Groovy. Okay, this is one of the pieces, but definitely we'll talk about more about this particular content. Let me just go again. So these are the different features we have readily available. Okay, so this particular asset where we have to develop this integration content, it's very rich a set of functionalities we have. Okay, and we can just explore definitely by working on it, because there are different boxes and there are different properties. So it all depends how we exactly use on our requirement. Okay, so this is a one thing we have. And this was like in case if we are just creating a custom content. I think the second one more important thing is in case if we want to look into a standard content also, we can definitely look into it. Let me just see. So right now suppose this is one, this is I think vendor recipe. This we can just go to, like this is ERP to success factor employee central confirmation. So this is one of the integration flows. So this is a standard content which SAP has given. So right now we can just open it up, and there are so many other modes also we can look into this once we start. I don't want to like just bug you up with a lot of information that you'll not be able to process. Just so keep it simple. This is how one of the integration flow look like based on the requirement how we have. Okay, so this is how it looked like. You can just explore more on clicking into it how exactly this works. Yeah, so this was we have right now done two things. First one was just looking in case we are creating a custom content, how we can just explore uh, different options. And this was a pre-packaged content of SAP and a cloud integration, and we can see what are the different properties and how this is done. Okay, so definitely running, debugging, tracing, everything is supported in this tool. Once we start with the part, then we can see how exactly we can learn step by step different things. Okay, so this was regarding the content part. Okay, so there were these two different things I talked about. So I think I just talked about this pre-packaged content and navigate through it, like how different options we have, like we just saw for the CRP part, and different features and mode and other things. Definitely we have to talk in details, like how we can see if it's modifiable or editable, what is the future support, can how we can just make sure we have the next upgrades also coming on it. So there are different things to it. So right now, I think just to sum up that particular integration flow, this is the important point. You have this your modeling area in case if you want to generate, if you have to create new scenarios. Then we have our configuration properties. Then we have our palette. Okay, so don't worry, we'll just be used to it once we start using it. Very honestly, sometimes I forget myself the names in palette. Okay, where it is. So, but I know like where exactly this is linked to, so I can just figure it out. So don't worry that everything, but we'll learn this step by step. So right now, I think the most important, because I keen to have good understanding of business. Then only you can just develop a good integration content. Okay, so we have seen a lot of business scenarios. So right now, this was one of the scenarios we have done it. So that was a very big food and beverage customer. So right now they were using extensively SAP ERP, SAP CRM, and they want to have a cloud application and they want to integrate it. Okay, because they have a lot of productive apps. They want to make sure everything is connected, synced, and they can use it in mobile also. So right now, with the help of prepackaged content, they were able to replicate, okay, and see whatever the transactional data, they can push it from the cloud system to the on-premise system. So the benefit was they were having a unifying business experience, and right now on demand they can fetch the data they need. So they don't have to replicate their data from on-premise to the cloud system. Advantage is in cloud you have a cost storage expense. So in case if you're fetching it from SAP CRM, so it's always a good thing to keep data in one place with integrity. And the next part was centralizing monitoring. So how exactly different systems are talking. So with the help of this SAP HANA Cloud Integration Monitoring part, we were able to monitor it out. Okay. So the next point I mentioned about the leverage in inbuilt functionality. So I think it's very important because we have seen the scenarios. Okay, I think for this one was for Italy. So they want to send some kind of e-docs to government, and they have like e-docs for invoice and credit with legal and tax compliance. So right now, in case if you have already pre-packaged content available into a market, for you it will be easy to use it, because you know this has been already been used by other customer, and this is a watertight pre-packaged content with every compliance also. This was the one thing. And the next part is always your return on investment is always high. Okay, and because this you don't have to worry about this cloud, because I hope cloud word as such everyone has to clear that they don't need to deploy on their premises your softwares or hardwares. Everything in SAP is managed by SAP. So that has always a very big impact. Okay, so that's why SAP has a bigger cloud strategy, because they know that every customer in future will move to cloud, and they should have end-to-end applications to support it. So right now, I think just to sum this up, right now this is kind of a connector I've shown, SAP HANA Cloud Integration. It talks to cloud app, on-premise app, then your different engagement part. Okay, and right now, and last I just because initially this was one of the questions that why in place of SAP PI we are using SAP HANA Cloud Integration, or can we not use SAP PI? So definitely you can use SAP PI also. It's not like you have to use only SAP HANA Cloud Integration, but I think this is what demand on demand in market for the cloud, which companies are the company wants to reuse this particular features. Okay, so they can have a good communication around their business process, and it should be smooth and flawless. Okay, so just to summarize, this was a picture. So for any course content, please check onlinefurytrainings.com. Okay, you will have complete list of content where you can just navigate through it. And in case if you have any questions regarding content, you can just check with me. And I think the next part which comes up, like what kind of a scenario, Sam, are you taking? Are you going to show system? So definitely this will be into a system. Okay, there are few things like which you cannot actually show in the system, like certificates, because it actually need a certificate authority to sign it. Sometimes it gets little tricky, but definitely giving you idea how exactly certificate works, I'll take care part of it. And for this particular course, I'll be taking kind of a odata adapters also, okay, on and SOAP also, so that for you it will be a little easy to understand how we can call the odata standard. Might be standard data which is like readily available on different groups, and you can just process the data and you can see how we can do that part. Okay, so I'll be definitely using this particular course OData and super adapters just to process the data for you, and we will try to show a scenario of integration with C4C with S4 HANA, some kind of a pre-package, or in case if we get some kind of access and Fury system, S4 systems cloud, so we'll be easily connecting that also into our that will be just covering our course. Okay, so please feel free to reach out to us, because definitely anyone who is signing up for this course will have a lot of questions. So please drop us an email at install.abap, Anubhav, or me, anyone. So we'll be looking forward to help you out. Okay, so guys, anything, any questions, any query? Okay, so you can just do one thing. In case if you have, I can see there are so many questions. Please drop me an email so I can just answer one by one. Okay, because I don't want to stretch this out, this particular session. So guys, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to work with you. Thank you.